How's it going, everybody? Nick Daniels here, yet again with a rant video as we're coming home from work. Surprisingly, I didn't do this video. I'm quite shocked. I made the update here 2 to 3 weeks ago where it was on the way, and I do remember recording it, but now that I think about it, I don't think I handled it very well. I think I didn't make some good points, and I just kind of butchered it. So I thought that I had come back and I did one in the car, but I'm pretty sure I must not have done it. So we're giving it to you right now. So this is going to be the Facebook rant. It's the only name I've really come up with it so far. I didn't really know what else to call it. Basically, I'm just going to roast the social media site Facebook or application. So I'm not going to sit here and just shoot you a ton of statistics. That's not how this is going to go. It's going to be a pretty opinionated video, of course. It's just going to be my thoughts. I only say this because probably most people watching the video in the first place have Facebook. I have Facebook. And people are, like, generally easily offended nowadays. This seems to be a big problem in our society. Maybe it's just like I think it's obviously this generation that's being raised. Maybe, I don't know. But I don't know if everybody was so easily offended before. I just don't think they were. The problem that I have, like I said, is everybody's pretty much attached. There's only a select few individuals that I even know that don't have it, right? Or in the same mindset that, like, I don't really use it. I have it, like, obviously to keep in touch, like if I need to message somebody or whatever, but they're not logging into it actively. Now, a couple of the people who have originally been on the Facebook team, like helped create Facebook, they have publicly stated on multiple interviews that Facebook was proven to be addictive because they made it that way. They made it to be addictive. That's how it's proven. You don't need another fact. You literally have people who said, you know, these creators who are like, yeah, like that's literally what we engineered it for, was like to be addictive. And you've probably heard the dopamine, or however you pronounce that. I'm pretty sure it's dopamine. Argument before, and I'll spiel it to you here again. Dopamine's a chemical in the brain. Okay, it gets released in the brain, and it's released when you do certain activities. Dopamine you can get, say, for example, from doing cocaine. You can get dopamine from sex. Get dopamine from gambling, and basically, it's a very it's enjoyment, right? Like, you know, this is a good feeling. You want dopamine. You want a little hit of that, and at the same time, Facebook actually will create this effect by the notifications, by the messages, by the friend requests. And you can't argue me on the fact that when you log into Facebook, and if you see, like, there's that little circle and it's got, like, notifications, and if you see 7 notifications sitting there, there is no way humanly possible that you will resist that very long. You will click that, I would say, probably within a good amount of time of being in on Facebook. There are people, and I have seen this firsthand, and it's actually quite a shocker, to be honest, but this is kind of the way it goes, I guess. There was a fella that I had, wrong blinker there, but you're turning left, but he's got the right blinker on. Anyway, so there's a guy I'm sitting there with. I don't know, like, I don't really know him, but he's hanging out on his Facebook. He's logged in on his laptop, right? He's on Facebook. And he put a picture up, and he was getting some likes. Okay, he was getting a couple likes on the photo, and you know, he put his best photo out there, which is another big problem, is that people only put their best photos. But I'll get into that. Anyway, so he puts his photo on there, gets a couple likes on it, and sure enough, every single time the notification popped up that another individual had liked the photo, he had gone back to the photo. He clicks the notification and re-looks at his own picture to see the new notification, to see the new like is on the photo, right? Like, almost like to confirm it, but to see it, to see the number growing, to see whatever reason he had, right? Which I would not want to assume the reason, but that's what if I had to guess, that's what I'm going with, is, you know, he's just, that dopamine, it's hitting him, right? And at the end of the day, the dopamine hits are real, man. This is real shit. Like, it's no joke. Okay, I should let that guy go. It's no joke. Dopamine hits are real, and people are facing this crap every day, and they don't realize that this is what's actually going down. The only realization, and this is a fact, is that they're addicted. You know, I go on Facebook, not gonna lie, I use it, I go on it, I do a little scrolling. Like products like this, okay, like Facebook, are reasons they're proven addictive, and this is the mentality of an application like Facebook, is that an app like Facebook is designed to take up as much of your time as possible, but still keep you interested at the same time. That's the crippling effect. Is it's not designed. Sorry, just got a shoulder check. I'm merging into the highway here. It's not designed to say, okay, like let's provide him all this useless material, bore him, and then make him leave. It wants to entertain you just as long as possible, and then make you come back. Now, Facebook's done quite a bit of things that you know, they've definitely held their position as, like, in my opinion, is the top one social media platform. Because if you look at the statistics, which I don't know off the top of my head, that's why I'm not trying to quote them. There's pretty much like 1 billion comments on Facebook made a day. Like, it's a ridiculous amount, and that fact alone is crazy. Almost everybody that you'll ever meet will have social media, right? Obviously, in a third world country, I mean, it might not be so much, but where I originate here in Canada, yeah, it seems to be quite the popular thing. I have gone to a bar and told somebody that I know, hey, by the way, I don't have a Facebook account anymore. What do you think of that? And it was like a shock. It was odd. I had told a friend that most of the day, I normally just turn my cell phone off, right? And I don't need it, and I just don't use it. But if, you know, if obviously I had to make an emergency or something, I have it in my pocket, I could quickly just turn it on and go. And he thought I was crazy. That, like, he didn't know how he literally did not understand. He didn't comprehend the fact of how I could do that. He didn't understand that method. He's like how do you turn your phone off during the day? I mean, I gave him the smart ass answer, right? I hold the power button. But that's the mentality. Is we are too addicted to that, and social media is the problem. It's one of the biggest problems that have people even addicted to the phone in the first place, right? Most people don't go onto a laptop or desktop for Facebook. A lot do, but most don't. Most will use a cell phone. It's more convenient. It's quicker. It's everywhere you go, right? There are break rooms where I work at. You know, there's a break room, sorry. In one of the locations, I work 2 places, and at one of them, there have been many a times that I have sat there, and it felt like a fucking fortnight of just sitting there watching people scroll on Facebook, and it's really awkward because I don't want to interrupt them. Like, they're in their own little world, so I just don't talk to them. I leave them, and then the problem that actually will persist after this, which is quite astonishing to me, is I'm usually told I'm wrong in that situation by that person at a later point. They will mention I didn't speak to them. Oh, you didn't say hi to me today. Well, I'm sorry, but you were busy. Oh, you could have said hi. Yeah, but in my expertise, when I say hi to someone who's, like, busy looking at their phone, they don't hear me. They really don't. And because it's like someone reading a book. They're just so into the book, they're reading away. You kind of say something to them, they might not really hear. They hear you, but they really don't. They tune it out because they're into the book. And it's the same as the phone. The phone is absolutely the same, if not worse. And I mean, like, the study showed that people apparently looked at their phone 150 times a day. They checked their phone 150 times a day. Okay? I believe that. Okay? 2 close friends of mine, like, they're hooked, right? Like, it's like hanging out, watching a movie, whatever. It's just pretty much right to the phones. And I understand there are business-related tasks, but there are points that I think people need to put those away. And this rant is also going to twine right to the cell phone a lot, because I personally find they're directly connected. And another good way of doing it too is, like, I don't use the application on the phone at all. I just go to a web browser if I need to. And a lot of the times what Facebook Messenger will do is it'll tell you, like, it'll be vice versa. They have to be compatible with one another. You can have the Messenger but not the app, but you can't have the app without the Messenger. That's an interesting thing. Now, another thing I've noticed too is that Facebook will email me, okay? Now that I don't I log in maybe once or twice a week. Maybe. once a week, probably. Twice, it's pushing it. And I noticed, though, like, I'll get these emails from Facebook telling me that someone had commented on a post, but I never commented on this friend's post, and I don't know who that person is either. And she's commenting on one of her own friend's posts, but it literally, it literally showed an email the other day to me saying, "Did you see her post on her friend's status the other day?" No, I didn't, and I deleted the email right away. I have no care in the world for that. I've taken off the birthday reminders because I personally don't care for that. I like that it's people's birthdays, and I like that they get like the couple, like the 50 people that are like, "Happy birthday, man." But at the end of the day, ask yourself this: do those people really even know when my birthday is? Or are they just seeing it on Facebook and they're just being courteous and they're putting it on there, right? It's like, also, are these people really my friends, or are they just people that I don't really know, right, on my friends list? That's another good question. Another good question is, how much of my information is made public, right? When you go into someone's Facebook profile, you can find out quite a bit normally. You can find out what school they've gone to, anything, right? My stuff, friends only. That's it. There's no exception. I have pretty much any privacy setting that I thought would help turned on, because I don't want people who don't know me to have that ability. Now, I have also allowed people to message me who don't know me, and people who don't know me to add me. I think that is fair. If someone doesn't know me and wants to add me, and they can message me and say, like, and explain how they know me, that's absolutely fine. But I have people who add me on Facebook that I don't know, and I used to accept that, and I used to add people that way, and I'm telling you right now, I've put my foot down in that situation, and I've specifically not accepted those people. I have nothing to say to those people. I used to message them and be like, "Hey, do I know you?" And there's always just kind of some BS if they're like, "No, but I wouldn't mind getting to know you a little bit, you know, you just, you know, whatever, we got a couple mutual friends." I think that would be absolutely fine. But if there's just no, "I saw you and added you randomly." Okay, well, that's fair, but no offense, I'm not going to have you on, right? Plus, you haven't also made the attempt to nurture a relationship, whether it just be via Facebook or not. I've met some nice people through Facebook, literally just through Facebook, right? Now, sure, they were local to the community, and then I kind of reached out to them via Facebook, but I also reached out. I didn't just kind of, you know, awkwardly send a friend request with nothing attached to it. That doesn't really prove anything in my books at all. Now, I realize that women get a lot of messages on Facebook. I'm glad they put that like spam filter on there. So I guess that is a good thing. And I think Facebook's great for keeping in touch with like relatives, family, friends, whatever. And it's a great platform for that ability. The games on there, I think people enjoy those. I don't play them at all. I just get spammed with invitations once in a while, and I think those are a bunch of BS. But they market them through the app, like the game, that they can do that. They're like, "Oh, you know, do this, and you'll get 2,000 points." So you just spam out the invitations, and that game normally has a bunch of advertisements spammed all over it. So normally, the more player base you bring in, especially by these people, the more chances that someone will end up spending money on your game, right? Which is normally some free-to-play browser game, which is true. Now, I don't think Facebook in itself is a bad thing, but it's definitely like just too addictive. It's the same regurgitated content over and over. Now I don't have a very big friends list, but I used to have a little bit bigger of a friends list. I only have, maybe 65 people. Okay, I swear to God, it can't be much more than that. If it's more than that, I would be ultimately surprised with myself. But let's be generous and let us say it is 65 people. Okay, I see the exact same people post the exact same things all the time. Okay, when I had 200 something people on there, not granted I barely knew half of them, it was the exact same thing. I saw the exact same people post the exact same thing day in and day out. Facebook is like a mask. I've talked about this. I'll be talking about this a little bit in a video that you're going to see after this, which is like these fake personas, which drive me up the wall. But basically, Facebook is supposed to be friendly, right? You come on Facebook, it's selfies, everybody's smiling, it's happy, right? That's the deal, right? It's happy days, and The problem is that people see that, which I guess this is actually a good thing. They see the happy days and they say, oh, fuck, well, you know, she's happy, I'll be happy, I'm happy. And they always post like the really happy posts and, you know, and everything's super happy. Oh, fuck me. Nice idiots, man. Like, we're slowing down. I was going like 110 a second ago, where we just slowed down to 95. Because somebody was trying to fly by me in the passing lane, and now we've all crunched in together. Funny how that works. So I gotta pay attention. I can't look at the camera a whole lot, because I need to look where I'm going. If not, we're not making other videos. We're crippled. Or we're dead. Or hopefully not hurt at all. Anyway, as I was saying, these fake personas are absolutely one of the reasons why actually people come back in the first place is because they just read these big paragraphs of just how everything's so nice and cuddly and warm and fuzzy, but they're not always all that warm and fuzzy. They just filter the bad things. They just don't post the bad things themselves, right? They want these ratings, they want these likes, they want people to like that, they want people to see that, oh, I'm a happy individual, I'm great. Now, there's the other way around it, that people will post these statuses that are very indirect. That's the best word I'll come up with it. They're very indirect. They will specifically mention somebody, maybe characteristics of that person, maybe traits of that person, maybe names start out. There's a page I know that does that. They'll put names, like it's an anonymous page where you can put all your, like, you can put statuses up there, or they'll post the statuses, sorry, but it's like these confessions apparently, which is normally just shit-talking people, so they start with names. They're the same idea. And normally, the way these work is that someone will figure out who put this up, they'll figure out who it is, or whatever, and this just starts what basically calls, what I could call the snowball effect. Basically, it just goes. This is a problem, okay? And people do this anyway, and it just starts massive paragraphs, and you'd be surprised how many people actually see that, right? And in your real life. This happened to me at one point. Someone had said something very inappropriate on my Facebook wall, or actually on a status I posted almost about a year previous to that statement, or to this comment. So anyway, they had seen this, and it started a little bit of a snowball there, but it ended. And it was quite ironic because people I know had mentioned that. They were like, oh, hey, I seen you got some shit on Facebook the other day. Kind of wonder what that was about. So they're reading it. They're just not commenting or posting. They're observing. They're moving along, right? I mentioned in the video, again, you'll see